What's up, guys? Igor Hernandez here. I'm one of the attorneys at Cornish, Hernandez and Gonzalez, where I practice injury law and first-party homeowner property claims. And today I want to talk to you about, or rather, I want to answer the question of how much is my case worth? And that's a pretty common question we get all the time with injury cases and really any other kind of contingency case, but primarily for injury cases. Let me answer that question for you. The answer to the question is, unfortunately, it depends. It depends on a whole bunch of different things. It depends on what jurisdiction you're in. For example, are you in Miami-Dade County or are you in Lee County? It depends on what jurisdiction you're in, even in the same county. Are you in state or federal court? It also depends primarily on the facts of your case, basically how badly injured you are. Are you severely injured or are you not severely injured? And when we talk about injuries and the severity of injuries like that, it's also important to break it down by whether you are objectively severely injured and whether you are subjectively severely injured. And what I mean by that is you may be in a lot of pain because of an injury. That pain may not be quantifiable by any objective finding that any doctor is able to produce. Your MRIs may be clean, your orthopedic exam may be clean, everything and every test whatsoever that has been ever done on you may come back showing nothing. But you may actually be in a significant amount of pain. Well, that case is probably not going to be worth a lot of money for the most part because it's going to be very, very, very hard to prove to a jury that you are in excruciating pain where not a single medical test or not a single medical finding can be looked at to say, look, this shows you that that person is severely injured. Whereas if you were in a terrible accident and you're now quadriplegic, objectively, that is a very easy thing to prove. That is a very easy thing to see. The jury can just look at you and say, damn, that person is severely injured. That person was catastrophically injured. And they can see it. So objectively, there's a very big difference between those two types of injuries. And so the objective value of those two cases is going to be very different. The case where objectively somebody's severely injured is going to be worth a lot more than a case where somebody objectively is not severely injured, even though subjectively that person may feel like they're severely injured or in a lot of pain. And then finally, the last piece of this puzzle is the liability. How clear is it that it was somebody else's fault for your injury, meaning that somebody was at fault or responsible for what happened to you? Is it a clear-cut case? Was it a car accident where somebody rear-ended you? Or was it a contested liability case where perhaps it was an intersection collision where somebody's saying you took the red light and you're saying somebody else took the red light? And all of that really comes into play and all of that combines to make the valuation picture of a case. It's not a straightforward valuation. It requires you to know the extent of what juries do in these circumstances in your jurisdiction. It requires you to know the liability picture and what's more likely to happen if you put it to six strangers. But for the most part, that's really the variables that we look at when valuing an injury case. And those are pretty consistent variables to give you an idea as to whether your case is worth a lot or whether your case is not worth a lot. So anyway, guys, that's it for now. I will catch you again next time.